mercy, because we know these are renewed upon us every morning. So today being a Monday for many people, though it's a Tuesday, we thank God for everything. And we start off this morning looking at things from a different perspective, and we thank God for our God is a good God. There are people who go through very difficult situations, but God is good. He never changes. You know, like Kenyan activist Boniface Mwangi and Ugandan human rights lawyer Agatha Atuhaire shared chilling details of the alleged abduction, torture, and deportation by Tanzanian authorities. A harrowing ordeal that has drawn condemnation from across the region. Speaking in Nairobi a week after their return from Tanzania, Mwangi recounted the terrifying experience that began with their arrest while attending court proceedings for Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu. The former photojournalist accused the Kenyan government of abandoning him and instead siding with the Tanzanian authorities. The two had traveled to Tanzania in solidarity with Lissu, but their mission was cut short when they were denied entry into the courtroom and later seized under unclear circumstances. Atuhaire, speaking emotionally during the press briefing, described how she was abducted by 5 men and 1 woman, forced into a dark vehicle, blindfolded, and taken to an unknown location.
Already in the hands of criminals, clearly. You're already blindfolded. Now you've been stripped naked. You don't know what's happening. You don't know what's in front of you in your, complete nakedness and all. So yeah, they tie me up. They first handcuff me, but before handcuffing me, they put my jumper that I was wearing to put the handcuffs on top. But still, it still left marks anyway. Yeah, so they tie my legs, my arms to my legs, and they also, put like something wood, like a stick in between, and then they carry me upside down like that. And the rest is everything they did to Boniface.
And then they told me to turn around, I'm naked. So all this time they're telling me they're recording everything they're doing to us, or rather they're doing to me. So they're recording this, they're teaching me a lesson. So I'm stuck naked, they turn me around, say your name, your wife's name, your kid's name, where do you live, where do they go to school. I'm naked. And they removed the blindfold and said now, so when I'm answering these questions when I turn around, when I'm answering these questions, they are just threatening me. So like when they're abusing me, they're saying I should feel good and say thank their president for doing that to me, like Sema Sande Sana, Sande Sana. So they told me we have recorded these videos so that if you go back to your country and you say what we did to you, we shall put them online and shame you, and your kids will see this, your family will see this, everyone will see this.
We look to the East African Community, SADC, East African Court of Justice, the International Commission of Juries, foreign embassies in East Africa, and the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights to act decisively. The time for silence is over.
Treasuring your people is very important. If these two were American citizens, Tanzania right now will be answering so many questions. There will be probably sanctions and there will be a lot of talks between the US and TZ, and Tanzania will be forced to pay a very, very heavy price for torturing, citizens of the US. Now that shows a country that cares about its people. I'm not saying Kenya doesn't care about its people, but I'm waiting to see what exactly is going to happen. How is the president going to respond to this? How are the security agencies going to respond to this? Or are they going to say, these guys have been troubling us, it's okay for them to suffer? It's not okay, because this is somebody's father, somebody's daughter, maybe wife, is somebody's husband. He's a person. There's no human being who should undergo what these two said they underwent. But let's see, just how much does the country love its own? Now, 7 suspects have been arrested in connection with the murder of our police officers in Nakuru on Sunday night. A statement from the Office of the Inspector General indicated that 3 suspects were arrested at the scene, while the other 4 were smoked out of their den within Nakuru Central Business District. The 3 officers were on patrol in Bondeni Estate on the night of the 1st when they were accosted and attacked by armed gangsters. One of them succumbed to the injuries, while the other 2 underwent first aid treatment at Al Gadir Hospital in Freehold area before being transferred to a different facility for specialized treatment. Mushiri said the police service was steadfast in its commitment to protecting lives and property in Nakuru City and its environs, and which has experienced a wave of increased criminal activities in the last 2 months, including murders, stabbing, defilements, shooting, and rape.
Last night, our officers, while on patrol, pumped into the gang, and a shootout arose. And out of the shootout, at around 8:30, we were able to track the entire night the systems of these fellows, and we were able to arrest 4 persons who are in the police custody here with this firearm. This firearm was found in Bondeni, in a place hidden where they could keep the firearm, in a place near Akalonjing there. The names that we are having, they are, when we learn their telephone numbers, the ones that they were using, because in total we had arrested 3 earlier who are in the police station, and these 4, so the total comes to 7. The journey yesterday was not the best because we had the exchange of fire with our police officers, and in the process some were injured, but luckily we have gotten the firearm. The guys in here, these guys are from Kuria, Tanzania. The 4 or 5 of them, but with accomplices in between here, and one of them is an ex-convict who was released from GK prison here in Nakuru. And even these guys are very scaring. One of the team that came to support us here, because it is a Subaru, they just hit it.
Well, that's what these guys have been killing people in Nakuru County, which is a very unfortunate situation. Now, Tharaka Nithi Governor and Council of Governors Health Committee Chairperson Muthomi Njuki has come out in support of a proposal by the Ministry of Health to transfer the universal health coverage staff to the counties, but wants a head count done first. According to Governor Njuki, there is a probability of about 3,000 ghost workers in the UHC staff, saying the centralized payment of the staff at the Ministry of Health has contributed greatly to the discrepancies being witnessed. In a strong statement delivered at the Kibugua Stadium as he presided over the Madaraka Day celebration, Governor Njuki noted millions of taxpayers' money was being lost through the payment of ghost UHC staff, and that the headcount would be the only panacea to getting the real figures.
Katika Kenya mzima, there are supposed to be 8,700. Katika Tharaka Nithi, tuko na 219 of them. As we talk today, in Tharaka Nithi, sidhani hata kuna yote ako kwa kazi. because they went on strike, kwa sababu waliandikwa, interview ilifanywa hapa katika county na si Tharaka Nithi peke yake, katika Kenya mzima sisi ndio tulifanya interview. Lakini pero ile inawalipa na pale wanalipwa na serikali kuu. Hiyo ni system ambayo haiwezi fanya kazi. Ati kwamba yule alikufanyia interview na pale unafanya kazi ni county government, lakini mshahara inatoka national. Na kabla yule wa national akulipe, aangaliangi ama ajui kama wewe uko kazi ama yuko kazi. And we have discovered one thing, Bwana County Commissioner. The government of Kenya is losing taxpayers' money by paying ghost UHC workers who cannot be accounted for. Kwa sababu ile list kukula ile 8,700, tukiangalia rekodi zetu sisi kama county government, we do not have 8,700 in the hospitals. Iko party yao karibu 3,000 which you cannot account for, kwa sababu mwenye kulipa ni tofauti, pali ya kufanya kazi ni tofauti. So tumesema hivi, hata ingawa wako strike na wanasema wanataka waongezewe mshahara wakuwe na permanent and pensionable, hiyo nimekubali, hiyo ni haki yao na ni vizuri wafanyiwe. Lakini ni muhimu sana kwanza tufanye head count. And I want to agree with the Minister of the CS for Health. We must do a head count for the UHC workers. Nilisikia union wataki tufanye, lazima tufanye. We cannot be paying people we don't know.
He's talking about 3,000 ghost workers. That is shocking. Let's hope when the head count is done, things turn out differently. I'm hoping it's not true. Anyway, elsewhere, Catholic faithful and residents of Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County are still mourning the tragic death of Father Alois Cheriot Bet. Father Alois, who served as at the St. Muluma Church in Tot, Kerio Valley, Elgeyo Marakwet County, was killed by armed men while returning from a church service on the 22nd of May. One of the evenings, the Sunday on June 1st, Catholic faithful and friend gathered in Eldoret City for a peace walk, a night vigil to honor the slain priest. Catholic faithfuls and leaders converged to pay their last respects to the clergy man ahead of his burial, which is taking place today.
What happened is domestic terrorism kule Kerio Valley. Na mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba kama viongozi, na nimeweka tuliketi katika bunge la Senate, tumeambia National Security and Defense Committee washughulikie hiyo investigation. Bishop, our questions are simple. It is, why was Father Alois killed? For what reason? And why like that? Anawawa tu kama mnyama? Those are the three questions that we are asking, Bishop. And I know when you are serving, there are assets of where you serve from. But mimi nataka niseme ya kwamba vile Kerio Valley kama serikali, na nataka niulize hii kwa heshima sana. Pale Mount Elgon tulikuwa na shida ya SPLF. Serikali ikagazette, we need to gazette Kerio Valley as a disturbance zone so that we disarm and flush out criminals that are within the community. And we deal with them as domestic terrorism so that we can have peace in Kerio Valley. Bishop, I want to strongly agree with you, mutatis mutandis, because you understand Latin, that the salvation of Kerio Valley is roads from Biretwa to Endo, roads within Kerio Valley to access irrigation programs, and many other programs of development so that we can open up Kerio Valley as a valley of peace. And I want to assure the church, when we visited the family with you, Bishop, that I myself as the Senator of Nandi, I will do the watch brief until the church and the family get justice.
You know, there was also another priest who was killed in Nyahururu. His name was Father Minor. And one of the things that I noted, because I'm close to the family, the guy was poisoned. And you wonder, why in the world would somebody poison another person? It's a sad situation. Now, these are statements that are coming to haunt quite a number of people. And then, you know, I remember Senator James Orengo once, Governor James Orengo, once saying in Parliament that revolutions eat their children. Now, Embu County Governor and United Democratic Alliance, or UDA chairperson Cecily Mbarire, has issued a stern warning to certain government officials, read Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, who are plotting against her and having clandestine meetings at night. Speaking during one of the meetings, the governor alleged that these individuals have been meeting against and plotting against her. And she warned that the government is aware of the officials traveling from Nairobi to Embu to undermine her governance in collusion with the local leaders. In her impassioned speech, she recalled facing hostility from the county residents for supporting the government, even as the same government now chooses to oppose her.
Nimeanza kuona kuna watu wameanza kunipangia njama, na ni watu wako kwa serikali ile mimi napigania kila siku. Those officers from Nairobi who are coming to Embu to hold night meetings to fight elected leaders, na hawana heshima na wanajifanya wanaelewa siasa ya Embu kutuliko sisi. When we are working round the clock to fight for this government, tunaambia wakome. Wanajijua those officers. Na wakiendelea, I will mention them. Na niwaambie hivi, mimi ni wa before, nimekuwa katika siasa miaka mingi. Msiniletee, otherwise I will talk. Msiniletee vita kutoka Nairobi. Mniambie mmekuwa wapi wakati tumekuwa tukipigania William Ruto hapa Embu. Vita kubwa sana. Mnipatie heshima vile na wapatia heshima. And do not take our support for President William Ruto for granted. Kama kuna shida, mtuite kwa meza mtuambie kuna shida wapi. But msituletee vita hapa Embu. Sitakubali. Tembe tekerani, mwambe tekeria. Timikutano ya usiku mkipanga huku na mtaki kuambia mheshimiwa Muriuki, mkona watu mnachukua mbele South ati mkipanga, wengine mmechukua Runyenje, wengine mnachukua wapi, hamtuambii. Tinyinyi ndio mmejua siasa kutuliko. Shetani ashindwe. Neramera kam baby kam. Nyinyi officers tutajuana na tutangangana. Na msifikirie mimi ni mtu wa kunichukulia hivi. I am a leader in my own right, and you will respect me and all the elected leaders in Embu County. Kama kuna shida, call us around the table. Let us discuss it. But do not disrespect us. Because if you disrespect us, we will disrespect you in return. We didn't get here by accident. We got here because we are leaders in our own right. So respect us.
You know, it's rather obvious when you have the deputy president coming from your area, you will have these power struggles. And I can assure you it's not going to come to an end, even as Kithure Kindiki tries to become and fights to become the kingpin of the region. So he's going to fight everybody who is perceived to be almost at his level, until he becomes the overall, and then he can take on Rigiji. Now, Juja Member of Parliament George Koimburi has come under attack following police reports that he staged his own abduction. Kalimoni Ward MCA Godfrey Mosheke criticized the legislator, who's still currently hospitalized after being found allegedly to have been dumped at a coffee farm in Kiambu County hours after his family reported him missing, urging him to stop engaging in drama and instead serve his electorate. Musheke accused Koimburi of bringing shame to Juja residents, stating that the MP was elected to serve the people and not engage in political theatrics.
Ile siku nilipata habari kwamba amekuwa kidnapped. Nilikuwa na wasiwasi sana. Hata nikajaribu kukimbia kwenda kuona mali yako. Lakini unfortunately baada ya siku 2-3 habari ikatokea kwamba haikuwa kidnap ya ukweli. Ilikuwa ile ya watu wazungu wanaita stage managing drama eshikuri. Sisi Waluya tunasema neshikuri. Haikuwa mambo ya ukweli. Alijiabduct ili aweze sijui kufanya mambo gani. Sasa hiyo ni mambo hatari sana. Hiyo mambo ya wabunge kufanya hiyo mchezo ya kujiabduct na kupeana habari ya uongo kwa serikali ama kwa vyombo vya usalama. Hiyo inahatarisha hata sisi wenyewe. Sasa ile siku yenye mimi mtu ataniabduct, nikipiga simu watasema wewe pengine umeanza hiyo tabia ya Koimburi.
Kama wananchi wa Juja, na tulikupea hizo kura ili uende ukatutafutie maendeleo. Alafu uanze kutuambia sisi wewe umetoka kwa serikali hiyo, twende tukafuate rais kupata hiyo maendeleo. Instead ya kuona ukitufanyia kazi, na sisi tuko na hasira sana kama watu wa Juja. Kuona kwamba kama wewe mbunge wetu najua kuwa pahali umejificha kwa hospitali, utaona kwa sababu wana waandishi wako hapa. Badala ya wewe kama mbunge, tukuone ukifanya kazi kama wabunge wengine, wewe unaenda kujikidnap, tunakupata unagaragara kwa kahawa kama wazimu. Lakini hatutakubali kwamba wewe utatuaibisha Kenya mzima, ya kwamba we have become the talk of the city, ya kwamba kila siku Juja inajulikana kwa mambo ya upumbavu. Hatutakubali tena.
Vile mnaona hapa maendeleo inaendelea kupatikana, na mimi niseme hivi, ndio nchi yetu iweze kuendelea. Sisi wale watu tumepatia jukumu la kuleta maendeleo mashinani. Tuchunge ndimi zetu ndio ziwe zikiongea yale maneno yataleta uwiano badala ya kufuruga nchi.
All right, let's now take a look at the newspapers. What is happening? Let's start with this. Do we start with the Standard, Nation, or the Star? The Star? Okay, sawa. Let's start with the Star then. The Star newspaper, what is it scripting? Regional Kingpins Battle for 2027. And it has the picture of Raila Odinga and William Ruto. Then it also has the pictures of Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Fred Matiang'i, Martha Karua, Kithure Kindiki, Musalia Mudavadi, Johnson Sakaja, and Abdul Swamad Nasir. Why is Sakaja here? Sakaja is not a regional kingpin. Which region does he represent? Interesting. Political heavyweights flex their muscle to consolidate influence. I still want to know which region Sakaja represents. Rambo in the mountain, how Rigathi plots DCP takeover. Then court cuts into half the 6-year jail term for Somali alien. Massive battle for regional kingpins. Even former Chief Justice David Maraga is also being considered a regional kingpin. Ele Mama Kaya, how? Then risk of losses as audit unmasked 26 agencies with ghost assets. Hey, I'm telling you, in Kenya, if all things are possible, all things. Friendly rivalry, Obiri targets redemption as she faces hot Lokedi in New York, a 10-kilometer showdown. Why is the Star so heavy today? It's because of MyGov. You know what happens with MyGov? Government tenders and stuff, all of them are advertised in this newspaper. Then the Daily Nation, how grade 9 choices will shape careers. Excuse me. The senior school your child attends has influence on their career in future. Details of the subject combination learners will study to qualify for certain professions are contained in an online platform the Education of Ministry has opened to guide learners. Please get into the website of the Ministry of Education and just see so that you know the school which your daughter or your son is going to go after grade 9, how it's going to determine their future. And then you still have on the same page down there, you have tears as activists recount torture in Tanzanian detention center. We really need to thank God for the democracy in our country and the freedom that we enjoy. We enjoy a lot of freedom in this country. In TZ, you do certain things that are done in Kenya, and in most cases, you'll disappear. If they are confident enough to do this to foreigners, can you imagine what they do to their people back home? They shot Tindilisu. They shot him, Tindilisu, during Magufuli's time. And he was the main opposition leader. It's like talking about shooting Raila Odinga. These guys did that. And it's not 1 or 2 bullets. They pumped him around 7 bullets. So, health concern for woman detained over finance bill. The family of Rose Njeri, who was arrested for setting up an anti-finance bill 2025 website, has expressed concern for her well-being. The 35-year-old who was arrested by the police on Friday in Nairobi South Sea area is facing cybercrime charges following her online calls for Kenyans to reject the finance bill. This is her constitutional right. I mean, the reason, when did the employees gain so much strength that they are able to control the employers? Because you see, members of parliament and the government, the elected officials, are employees of the citizenry. So when did it get to a point whereby the employers cannot tell the employees that what you're trying to implement is wrong? Then you have Supreme Court set to settle row on unexplained wealth. There are divergent approaches taken by courts on forfeiture of unexplained wealth. Public institutions told to get digital vehicle number plates. Okay. Then 6.6 billion paid in commitment fees for idle loans. This is interesting read. The National Treasury is in the spotlight following revelations that the government paid, listen to the amount, 6.6 billion shillings in 4 years as commitment fees on loans that had not been drawn yet, procured from foreign lenders. As in, you've paid already commitment fees of 6.6 billion on loans that you've not accessed, on monies you've not accessed yet. Auditor General Nancy Gathungu made the revelations before the Budget and Appropriation Committee of the National Assembly, with MPs questioning Treasury commitment to prudent management of limited public resources. Okay. Then on the back page, Zico Ruse, Gore's collapse as Derby draw dents little bids. 270 million legal fees cripple Football Kenya Federation. By the way, the FKF Federation chairman, Hussein Mohammed, we used to call him Tostao. He was a very good footballer in Jamhuri High School. I think he was in Form 4 when I was just getting into Form 1. Then Weston twist. This is the Standard. And the Standard these days just goes ballistic. I mean, when the Standard puts its headlines, you can be very, very sure that things are going to be very hot. And what the Standard is saying is Weston arm twist, sanitizing, grabbing in a comic twist, exposing the rot in public institution. And it says KCAA now seeks compensation, not restitution, from President Ruto's linked Weston Hotel over contested land. What they're saying is this. Now, KCAA initially was seeking to repossess the land. But obviously after yours truly became the president, now KCAA is saying, now you can pay us money. We don't necessarily need the land. You can pay us money and we'll be okay. This is despite earlier claims. The agency now signals the land grab is acceptable so long as payment is made. Justice, it seems, has a price Weston is willing to pay. How crackdown on critics in East Africa echoes 1980s push for multi-party democracy. And then it shows, Willie Mutunga and Martha Karua. And for some of you who are not around during the 1980s, kulikuwa kumewaka moto. Moto, moto, moto. And then you have Boniface Mwangi and Agatha Atuhaire, who basically take us through the kind of hell they went through in Tanzania. The things they went through are despicable. And then you have here Deputy President, inside the silent settlement that saw Weston Hotel claim public lands. And then this is done on 2 pages. It's done on 2 pages. For those who know, they know. Why shocking police deaths compromise safety of Kenyans? The high attrition rate has left the National Police Service grappling with operational gaps in critical areas of policing, with a shortfall of 4,569 officers following exits over the past 3 years. Mogoka bill that could chew or save Kindiki's political career. Kimeumana. Because some of the areas that this was being taken to have rejected it. Then remembering Ngugi, denial and lessons from my literary teacher. Then you have the mighty Mogumo tree has fallen, but its roots still mature us, or still nurture us. These are excerpts from Ngugi wa Thiong'o's books. Then, today is a very important day, by the way. The reason why we have some people in prison today or in police cells today is because of the Finance Bill 2025. You remember last year, in June, we had situations where people basically found themselves in very difficult situation during the Gen Z demos, with quite a number of young people shot dead. And it was because of the Finance Bill 2024. Now we have Finance Bill 2025, and we have Rose Njeri already in a police cell. Let's hope she's going to be presented in court today. They are charging her because she set up a website through which Kenyans could be able to express their frustration and reject the bill, which today goes into public hearing. It kicks off today in the counties. The National Assembly Committee, please make sure, find out where the public participation is taking place, and go and express your thoughts. At least read it. I hope you may read. You won't go and say somebody read it for you. Read it, make sure you understand, and professionally and clearly explain the things that you're against, and educate other people also. And for those you are for, actually tell them you are for this because this is how it's going to affect you and your people. Diabetes, hypertension, silent killers in rural areas. This is what the medics are saying. These two diseases have been killing people without people even knowing. By the time you discover, it's been discovered when a post-mortem is being done on you. So please make sure you check your life, you check your blood sugars, your pressure, blood pressure, so that you're A-okay. Sindio? Then the back page. Gor Mahia missed chance to close in on Kenya Police in KPL title race. This is how the back page looks like. There's a guy who's kicking a ball. It's like he's aiming to kick the head of an individual. But that's how it went down. All right? Mangaseti tumemaliza sahi. Remember today you have your faith. Your faith today from 9 a.m. We'll have some interesting worship and Bible teachings with Reverend Felix Kavoy. And then at around 2 p.m. there, we're going to have Manukato with Teddy and DJ Shaw. They'll be doing their things and interviewing artists on their journey in the music world, and also you also get to hear the word also. So with that, we bring the curtains down on the show. Morete Muiti wasn't able to come join us today. We go through whatever is happening in the country, all right? Okay. I'm going to play you some very nice programs after this, so don't touch that dial.